All right, let's reflect on the week past. The Government of National Unity held its first Presidential Imbizo at the Tsakane Stadium in Ekurhuleni on Friday. The event was attended by ministers from other political parties with a notable absence from certain ministers. Meanwhile, the official opposition in Parliament, Umkhonto Wesizwe, has this week unveiled its top leadership. The party says it will not go to an elective conference anytime soon. Well, joining us to really reflect on all of this, we are joined in studio by Professor Mazwe Majola, who is a leadership and governance expert. So, Prof, good afternoon to you. Happy Saturday and thanks for joining us.
Good day, Naliti. Thanks, my sister.
I think one thing we can say is coming out of this week, you look at the political landscape of this country and, you know, you can almost sit in awe of the changes that are coming at us. I mean, firstly, you see a Floyd Shivambu, for instance, the former Deputy President of the Economic Freedom Fighters, then joining the MK Party, now national organizer of the party. But let's start with the MK Party, if you will, right, and reflect on what's happening there. The National High Command, we saw that announcement this week by the Secretary General of the party. Is this an MK Party that you feel now has structures that give the party more integrity?
Yeah, finally, at least they have not elected by appointed structure, at least, which will assist the founder in the name of Ubaba, President Jacob Zuma. 8 members, which we would call a 7 men plus 1 woman member. Which were really handpicked. They did say that they recruited and are also busy recruiting others. So we don't know who's going to be coming from where, because when we are saying you're recruiting, are you recruiting from other political parties? Yeah. Are we still going to see other people joining the MK party? So, but at least there is that structure, which is the highest structure. Now they're putting together this 45 men and women, which will be form part of this bigger structure, and then obviously, and then start now, which is the work of Floyd Shivambu to galvanize and put structures all over the country.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big questions is going to be whether or not Floyd Shivambu was made the right political move here. I mean, if you were to think about a political chess game, if you will, and if this could, you know, be good news for the MK party to have Floyd Shivambu within it, that's going to be an interesting question. But and I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But then there's also this big issue around us hearing that there is not going to be an elective conference. And what do you think that says to the electorate and to, I suppose, the command and order and how it trickles down within the party?
Well, for Lord, it's going to be a baptism of fire. He's coming from a very youthful organization. So, you know, EFF, very young, they've got a different culture. Now it's going to an MK with another culture that is going to adapt, or he will have to adapt in terms of working there. Obviously, it's an opportunity for him, because it's given an assignment of starting things. You know, when you're a starter, it's very good, more especially if you're a mobilizer and an organizer. It's good for MKP because it's going to dispel this notion that it's an ethnic organization, just a Zulu base. At least you've got Floyd, originally from Limpopo. At least maybe you will also assist in building structures in Gauteng and other areas. However, as I'm saying, for Floyd, he will have to adapt. He will have to understand the Zulu cultures, how to handle the Zulu people when we are going to meet them in a meeting. You know, you don't just go and speak to them, Mr. and Mrs. You've got to use their clan names. You've got to use their, you know, their praise names, you know, when you are speaking. So those are things that we'll have to learn how to handle them. More especially, he was deployed to KZN by EFF. He didn't do well there. but now it's going there for MK party. We'll see how he will do. Now, coming to the elective conference issue. I think Zuma is really using his experience there. He has been in the game for many years in politics. He understands and he knows how conferences can tear apart organizations, you know, more especially at a very formative phase, because we are talking about a very, very young party. At the moment, they don't know each other, these people. Even if you can say tomorrow or next month or even December, let's go to the conference. Are you going to elect or yes, are you going to go for someone? Do you know this person?
Right.
For instance, if this person is coming from Mpumalanga, if this person is coming from Eastern Cape, how do you know? Because they don't know each other yet, you know. So he's avoiding that divisive, where you might find the whole structure being built by a faction coming from a certain area because they know each other there, so they can put their own people.
Well, I mean, and you're correct about one thing, even with that briefing with the president of the MK party and the announcement of that high command, very new faces to the political landscape. And then, of course, we've been showing the visuals of the 10 members of parliament that were representing the MK party in the National Assembly that now have gone the legal route to find out how their supposed resignation has taken place. They say they've received no notification. They have not signed any sort of resignation. What does that, I mean, is there any sort of implication that could have on the stability of the party? And the reason why, and I suppose the real question is, has the MK party ensured its longevity to the electorate as we see all of these shifts happen? Reasonably young politicians, fresh politicians that you see in that media briefing this week saying, we did not resign as members of parliament and from the party.
So his challenge is that, you know, this is a young party, as we are talking about. And then it has grown so quickly and everything was so fast because as they just started and the elections was here, and then they did so well. Now they had to identify people to go and represent the party in parliament, you know. And then they sent those ones, probably after reflections, they are realizing that we need more stronger in terms of caliber and quality of people that we can send them. Unfortunately, the way it has been done is very unfortunate and very unfair for those 10 members who have been sent there, because these are rank and file. They've been there when the organization was there campaigning for the party, and then the party won. They played a pivotal part and role in making sure that the party got what it got. Now they are being treated like this, so it is very, very unfortunate. I think Zuma really should have done better in terms of communicating to these comrades, because there's nothing wrong in terms of redeploying, changing people. We're still new. We are still trying to test different positions. We have put you there, but we can see that maybe your better place would be somewhere else. Can we move you there? Not that you are bad, not that we don't like you. It's just that we want to give you another role, another better role. You know, just to handle it with care, just to move them like that as though they've never, you know, participated or contributed anything. Not that unfair, but very dangerous. But as we are talking about instability, 10 members in politics is a lot, you know. You don't want to lose those people, because just 10 members may translate to 1,000. One member, you don't know how many people brought into this party, and how many people will still bring, and how many people we will lose when this person is aggrieved and is leaving the party. So you don't treat people like that, especially at a formative phase, because now we are trying to solve a problem of bringing potentially better people, as I'm saying, in terms of quality and caliber. There's nothing wrong with that. However, do that with care.
Yeah.
As I'm saying, that you could have called them in a meeting, communicate to them, make them aware and explain to them why are you removing them, so that you can give them something, even if you don't give them something else, but just to give them, that confidence that they mean a lot to the organization.
At the moment, though, and of course a lot of the conversation is going to be around how the MK party is going to be able to sustain itself through this, I suppose, the next 5 years up until the next national elections, perhaps even up until the local government elections 2 years from now. But it is the official opposition at this point, fast growing, right? The third largest party now in the country, and one wonders how it's faring up against the stability that we see in the government of national unity. I mean, a lot of questions around the relationship between the African National Congress and the Democratic Alliance. For instance, this Imbizo, the Presidential Imbizo held by the president. And here's the issue that's been raised now. It's cost 44 million rand for 4 events of these Imbizos, with the Democratic Alliance saying it's just too much. And of course, even at the Imbizo, a sort of distinction around, well, it seems as some members of the Democratic Alliance, ministers, not in attendance. Is that concerning for the stability of GNU?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, the DA and Freedom Front Plus, that I didn't see them there, and their absence was quite conspicuous and very worrisome. It raised many questions and concerns, because all other parties were there. IFP was there, PA was there, Good was there, obvious ANC was there. And then all of a sudden you don't see DA. It raised many concerns that why DA was not there.
What does it say?
It talks to this difficulty of managing GNU in terms of party versus government, that the party stands, how does it affect the governance, or the government? Because if DA feels that no, Imbizos are a waste of money, we don't want to participate, but these people are part of government of national unity, how are they going to handle that? We always knew that when GNU was established, this was going to be a sticky point and an issue in terms of different parties trying to balance their, their party stances, or their party policies or stances versus the government. So I just hope that really we will get, and we should. I think that the nation does deserve that, a good explanation and clarification as to why DA was not there, and why Freedom Front was not there. And it's something that the president was not just brushed off and say. And there was a time I saw, when I heard him was referring to the Minister of Agriculture, that Minister of Agriculture, John Steenhuisen, is not with us, however, So it means that if he was there, he would have been given the podium to say something. In terms of these Imbizos, whether they really make any impact, I doubt and I wonder. I saw what was happening there yesterday. You bring all these different ministers and all this, and then they talk and talk.
Is it meaningful?
Whether it's meaningful, I felt so sorry for our people. I was sitting there looking there, and I felt I had this deep, anguish for our people, our people are suffering. The way they were treated there, others they wanted to say things, others they wanted to make their points. Obviously, I know it was time limiting, there was a long queue, others couldn't make it, but they were just treated. at times they were treated like children, you know, the way they were handled, you know, no, not you, okay, now it's fine, just give us your written things. And you ask them, why are they being brought? Is there another platform, maybe a better platform that could be used to address their concerns and their issues rather than really bring... so I wonder if maybe the government would like to revisit this thing and whether is it meaningful or is it impactful?
Or is it cosmetic? Is it a cosmetic way of engaging? I think I want to just one last question before I let you go. I mean, again, we go back to the meaningfulness of the engagement, the Democratic Alliance saying it's exorbitant, a clear exclusion, or they simply weren't at this presidential Imbizo, and the conversation has been whether or not there's confidence that this GNU will last. I mean, one of the big criticisms has been 1994 GNU didn't last, but these issues and cracks, should they be showing this early?
Well, I just hope that it will last, Naledi. I just hope that it will last because we really need it, and I hope all the GNU partners will make it work, despite the party differences as we've seen it now, because obviously we need stability and certainty in our country moving forward.